basically what I wanted to wrap up in today's presentation on Magical Mindset 101, Shift Your Perspective, Change Your Life, is to talk about some really simple research-backed tools that you can implement any day, any time of the day, to really help you to enhance your experience of life. So we're going to be focusing on the body, the mind, and the soul. And life has its ups and downs. That's just the nature of it. And I think it's really important to have some tools in the toolkit so that when you're going through maybe the tougher times, you've got some things that can help you through. And when you're going through the amazing times, that you've got some really great resources to help you to really cherish those moments and hold on to them when you are going through those tougher times. So who am I? Let me introduce myself. So my name is Angie and I am the founder of Thrivergy. My motto in life very much is we're here to thrive, not just to survive. Life is an absolute gift, and like I said, there can be tough times, but it's how do we make the most of what we've got, where we are. It's not about a silver bullet to help you to win lotto or miraculously change your world. It's about, this is the world that we live in. This is what we have available to us. How do we pull out the good bits? How do we really emphasize the good bits? How do we really look after ourselves so that we're really present in our own experience of life and enjoying it as much as we can, regardless of what's going on around us? So I am a mum of 4. I have a 4-year-old and I have 3 teenagers. So, I know what it's like to live in a bit of a chaotic life sometimes. I work full-time. I work as a HR professional. So I've worked in that industry for over 20 years. HR people, sometimes we become the counsellors of the organisation. So we do have to deal with some heavy things. So again, I know what it's like to carry that emotional load, not only from family commitments, but work commitments as well. I am an eternal learner. So you'll see if you've been following my page for a while that I constantly love sharing anything that I'm learning about in this space with people that follow my page. I just think, well, it's amazing. It's amazing what we can do in terms of research and what we're finding out every day. There's just so many things out there that we can try to help us to enhance our experience of life. So I think that's another key message. If you're ever really finding that you're in a dark place, just know that there's always hope. There's always something out there coming up every day that might be able to help you shift that situation. So that's what I hold on to all the time. So I love new experiences. I love meeting new people. I love seeing new places. I love trying new foods. I just really love to uncover the goodness in everything. I'm a bit of a pleasure seeker, I must admit. I'm a Gemini pig, for those that are into the Chinese astrology as well. I'm a Gemini pig, and I always did read that we were always seeking the joy and the pleasure, and that's definitely me. So, during the summer, a beautiful sunset over the beach is just absolutely, cocaine for my soul, to not put it any other way. I just love it. I love the colours and the experience of that. So my dream job, if I had no limiting beliefs, would be to be able to present motivating, inspiring and life-changing advice and tips to thousands of people on stage. So growing up, my sort of idol was Anthony Robbins. I just really loved what he was doing and the work that he was doing and the messages that he was sharing. So it's just sort of like, I want to yell from the rooftops, try this, try that, see if this will help. So I really do love helping people as well. So in terms of my business, in terms of Thrivergy, I call myself the Magical Mindset Mentor. I think, we're all mentors in everything that we do. We've all got skills and knowledge and experiences that we can share. For me, it's about, as much as possible, offering inspiring, motivating and practical tools, resources and practices, predominantly to empower women, but I'm very much inclusive of everybody, to create positive change in the way that they feel about their lives. So with this particular presentation, as I said, I'm going to be focusing on body, mind, and soul, because I think you need to have an overall approach to wellness. You can't just pull one lever. You've kind of got to do a couple of little things in each of those sections to really enhance what's going on for you. I don't think that happiness comes from just one-off events or experiences. So we can definitely have happiness in the moment. So if you go on a wonderful holiday or you have something happen during your day and it creates a really great experience, that can bring happiness, but it won't necessarily bring sustainable happiness. So I think it's really important that to recognize that happiness comes from consistent action over time in those areas of your life that you know light you up and bring you joy. So if you haven't already, I would love to invite you to grab a pen and paper or a journal, as there are some exercises as we go through this presentation that you might like to participate in. So grab those if you haven't, if they're handy. Okay, so as I said, focusing on the body, mind, and soul, we're going to be focusing on the body first. And the reason that we're focusing on the body is because when your body is in stress, it is going to be near on impossible to shift or enhance your mindset. So essentially, when your body is in fight, flight, or fawn, that the part of your brain that's activated is the lower part of your brain, which is like your survival brain. And when that's activated, all of the resources are going to that part of your brain. So it's actually really impossible to get that thinking brain activated and happening. And that thinking brain is your, where your solutions come from. It's where you're able to sort of talk yourself off the hill kind of thing, or talk yourself off the ledge. So it's really important to, first of all, recognize when your body is going into flight or fight. For some of us, we've actually been in flight or fight or freeze for so long that we don't even realize that that's what we're in. Like, we've just become so accustomed to feeling that way, we don't realize. So it's really important to get in tune with your body first, help to recognize when your body is in distress, and then help to calm that over time, whether it be through some of these sort of what I call first aid techniques, like rapid first aid for calming yourself straight away, or whether it's recognizing that you probably have been in flight or fight for quite some time, and you're going to have to do a bit more work over time to really bring your body back into equilibrium. So how to recognize when your body is in distress. So the key things that happen, if it's something that's happening in the moment, so whether you've got a few things going on at work that's causing you anxiety because you're feeling overwhelmed, you've got so many things on the go at once, you don't know where to start, you'll notice that what happens is your heart rate starts to increase. So you can feel it. You can feel it in your chest. You can sometimes hear it in your ears. You start to breathe faster. You've experienced some changes in your voice, and you might have some clouded thinking or even blank thoughts. So just nothing's coming to you. So that's sort of when it's happening in the moment, that flight or fight. Longer term signs that your body might be in distress caused by stress is regularly getting sick, or having unexplained aches and pains in your body, like inflammation in your body, feeling fatigued more often than not, or having headaches, ongoing headaches. So those can all be signs that your body is in distress and you need to do something about it. Because as I said, we can't shift your mindset if your body's in turmoil, if your body's in a state of stress. So we need to work on that first. So before we commence working on our mindset, it's really important to address what is going on in our bodies first. I'm not going to talk about nutrition and exercise today. That's not my expertise. But I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that have helped me to calm my body. And the reason I have all these tips and tricks is it's always been my passion. I've got a psychology background. Didn't mention that at the start, but I do have a degree in psychology, and I'm getting a master's in business psychology as well. So I've always had a very big interest in this space. But the other thing about me is I am someone that has high functioning anxiety. So there have been times in my life where I've had to really calm my body down because it's had like a really strong reaction to whatever's going on around me. So these are the tips and tricks that I've picked up and I've shared with other people to, in that moment, help you to get back into your body, help you to feel calm so that you can start getting that thinking brain moving again. So these aren't just things that I've tried, by the way, because as I said, I'm very passionate about psychology, so I do research the shit out of that stuff. So this is all backed by leading edge research as well. So it's not just, you don't need to just take my word for it. So in terms of first aid for calming your body quickly, these are my 3 key tips. So this is when you're in that moment feeling anxious. So maybe you've got to do a presentation at work, or maybe you have just had a very heated conversation with someone that you love and things have got a little bit heated and you're feeling, quite emotionally activated by that. So these are some of the things that you can do. So the physiological sigh is a simple yet powerful breathing technique that helps to reset your nervous system and promote relaxation. So what it involves is 2 quick inhales through your nose, followed by a long, slow inhale out of your mouth. So I will show you what this looks like. So it's so this deep sigh triggers a reflex that can calm the body and mind, reducing stress and tension in a matter of seconds. I actually feel so much calmer just doing that. I love it. Like, it's such a great technique. And it's one of those things, if you're in stress in that moment, just excuse yourself, walk out of the room, go to the bathroom, quickly do that. I mean, you can even do it by sitting there quite discreetly. People might not even notice. Just to really calm your body down, calm your heart rate down, calm your breathing down, and get your brain moving the way you need it to again. So the other thing about that, little bug in the air, is that when you're doing that slow breath out, you're actually physiologically, you're lowering your diaphragm. So when you're breathing in, if you're breathing in quite quickly, whenever you're breathing quite quickly, you're restricting your diaphragm. So it's actually putting pressure, not in a bad way, but it's actually putting pressure on your heart, like pushing your heart up. So when you breathe out slowly and for a lengthy amount of time, you're actually relaxing your diaphragm, which is giving your heart more space, which actually then relaxes it a little bit. So this is all scientifically backed, relaxes a little bit, which then actually slows your heart rate down. So you can actually actively slow your heart rate down if you feel like it's elevating too high, and obviously the breathing side of it. So for those that are online, or if you're watching the replay at home, let's do it together. So we're going to do the 2 breaths through the nose and the long breath out through the mouth. And here we go. So yeah, do that in times of stress. You can also do that even just daily. If you're just driving somewhere and you're doing it, just practicing that while you're driving, doing it a few times for say 3 or 4 minutes, you'll find that will really help to release built up tension, center yourself, and restore a sense of calm and balance. So that's definitely my number 1 technique. My other technique that I've tried is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. There are some really great free tapping, is what it's called, tapping videos that you can access on YouTube. Brad Yates is a really good practitioner in this. He has lots of different videos for lots of different scenarios, and I think they go for about 4 or 5 minutes each, and just really effective to move some of that emotion and tension from your body. If you're not in the position where you can grab your phone and chuck on one of those videos because you're in the moment, a really great technique that you can do in the moment discreetly, again, walking out of the room, going to the bathroom, or in some other way, is to just gently tap on this part of your hand here. Just tapping on that. And you, for example, you can just say, so when you're doing the emotional freedom technique, you're trying to actually tap into the emotion. You're trying to diffuse the emotion in your body. So what you would be saying is the thing that's causing you stress or anxiety. So, for example, I'm stressed, or I hate public speaking, or my family's giving me the shits. So whatever the thing is that's stressing you out, that's what you're saying to yourself. So you're saying that as you're tapping on that part of your hand. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm absolutely out of my brain, stressed. And you're saying that, and obviously it's generating within your body those feelings. And then this technique is helping to diffuse. So that's another way that I find to really just calm my body down. The other technique that I want to share today, which is very simple, is just tuning. It's a really easy form of meditation. So it's tuning into the sounds that are around you. So, so just listening, even right now, just listening into the environment around you, and what can you hear? So for me, I can hear the buzzing from my laptop over here. I can hear the buzzing of the fridge. Hopefully you're all somewhere nice, but you might be able to hear some birds or some rustling of the trees, something like that. So I'm hearing the buzzing. So I'm going to tune into that, and I'm just going to really amplify that sound. So it's just a form of grounding, really amplify that sound. And I might want to do some box breathing while I'm doing that. So for those that don't know, box breathing is just breathing in for 4, holding the breath for 4, breathing out for 4, and then, holding that space for 4 before you're breathing in again for 4. So like a box, 4, 4, 4, 4. So doing that breathing technique while tuning into and amplifying a sound around you just really calms and grounds your body. So if you're online now, give that a try. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to check again just to make sure that that the sound and everything is working. If you're online and you can sort of tell me that it is, that would be wonderful. Okay. If you're online and you can... I am. It is working, yay. As I said, first time doing this, so getting to trust the technology. All right. So hopefully you've done that and you're feeling a lot calmer as we move into the next part of our presentation. So those are the things, as I said, I call those the first aid for calming your body quickly. But I've got lots of different techniques that you can use over, a bit more sustainably. So not in those moments of acute stress, but just to keep yourself sort of at a good baseline overall. So some of us might struggle to find time in our day for, exercise. I know I do. With having the busy family life and busy work life, I don't prioritize exercise probably as much as what I should. But for people like me that struggle with that, this research really sort of changed my perspective on things, to know that, I don't need to commit to some extensive exercise regime to get the benefits of exercise. Essentially what the research shows is just taking a brisk walk for 20 minutes a day, or just, whenever you can regularly, as a one-off, it's enough to clear your mind, move excess energy, and release endorphins. So if you in particular, if you have a bit of a stressful job and you just need to have a reset, this is a great thing to do at lunchtime. Even if you just do a 20-minute walk up and down the street where your work's located, it's great just to get you set up for the afternoon. So research that was undertaken by Harvard Medical School found that 20 minutes was also the magic number for a brisk daily walk that would bring about all the good benefits of exercise. So in terms of cardio health, reduced risks of premature death, combating the effects of sitting and boosting your immunity, 20 minutes is all you need every day. So if you're struggling to exercise for longer periods, which I do, just aim for a 20-minute daily brisk walk, which will do wonders for your for your mind and your body. So as I said, even if it's just on your lunch break, walking to the shop to get your food on your lunch break, that it all counts. I also wanted to share with you that there was another study. So it was a small study, but it was 1,000 men and women found that those who walked at least 20 minutes a day, at least 5 days a week, had 43% fewer sick days than those who exercise once a week or less. And if those people did get sick, it was shorter in duration and their symptoms were more mild. So I suppose what I'm trying to say with this is that brisk walk has all those amazing other health and well-being benefits. It's really great just to help release tension and stress from the body. That process of actively moving, can just move all of that stuff that's stuck within us out and help us to have a better experience in our lives. And that's a little bit about what this next little technique is about. So this is called shaking therapy, which was another one that I came across. So I've sort of developed a little bit of an interest in somatic therapies, which is obviously, like different to talk therapy. It's sort of, moving through trauma, stress and anxiety through movement as opposed to just talk therapy. So for those that do, we've got our friend Lisa, who's probably watching this. She does the walk and talk therapy. I just think that is an amazing concept. So moving your body and talking at the same time is a really great way to break through some of that trauma or stress or anything that's troubling you. It's amazing. So with shaking therapy, basically it involves shaking the body to release tension and trauma and will help actually regulate your nervous system. So if you've seen animals, for example, if like a dog that might have, got a little bit angsty with another dog or whatever, you'll notice that at the end of the tension, they'll, shake it out. So they all do it in the animal world, but we think if we started going around shaking, it would be a bit weird. But it's actually really, really, really great for releasing muscular tension, burning excess adrenaline and calming the nervous system to its neutral state. So helping therefore to manage stress levels in the body. So this, if you want to find out more about this practice, Dr. Peter Levine, he developed this body-based therapy to process and release trauma. And so basically, how does it work? So you might start, you could do the whole just shake it all off once you've had a moment of high stress. But also, if you wanted to sort of do it as a daily thing, it is literally just, shaking parts of your body and standing up. So maybe shaking your arms first and then shaking your legs. Oh, the neck, that's great. So just releasing from your body. We hold so much tension throughout the day in our bodies. And when you're doing that, just asking yourself, how does it feel in my body? How does my body and emotions feel, before I did this practice, and how does it feel after? So just going through, starting small, even if you just do it for 30 seconds or a minute a day, research shows that just doing it for that short amount of time can change your nervous system and affect hormone production. So, it's something that you can work up to. And again, this is probably a good one during those moments of high stress that you could use. So you could go again into a discreet place, a bathroom or out of the room, and just give yourself a quick shake if you've got a bit of anxiety built up in your body. So another really great one to use. This is another one that I practice if I'm feeling particularly stressed, is putting my feet up against the wall of an evening. So if you're finding you're stressed at bedtime and finding it hard to sleep, this is a really great relaxation and restorative yoga pose. So it's called Viparita Karini. That's how they say it. So Viparita Karini. And it can help to relax your body and mind for several reasons. So the pose encourages relaxation by allowing the body to rest and unwind. So it's that gentle inversion of the legs up against the wall that can help to calm the nervous system and promote a sense of tranquility. And to be honest, when you're in that pose as well. You can't really do anything else. So, I mean, it's quite hard even just to go on your phone. So you really are forcing yourself to be a bit more mindful as well while you're doing this technique. It also activates the parasympathetic nervous system with having your legs up against the wall, which again helps to decrease levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone that we have in our body. It also helps to increase circulation. So if you've got a bit of pain in your legs or in your feet, just having your legs up above your heart improves circulation, which also aids in the removal of toxins from the body, which helps overall relaxation. So yeah, this is a great one. Just before you go to bed, pop your legs up against the wall for a couple of minutes, working up to 5 minutes, and you will feel those benefits and have a better sleep as well. Okay, so that is all the body stuff. As I said, it's so important because a lot of the times, particularly in the modern world, we have so much pent-up anxiety or pent-up stress in our body. We're so tight, we're so wound up, we don't even realise, probably because we've been feeling like that for so long. So even if you don't recognise it in yourself, I think if you started to try some of these techniques, you would find that in a short space of time, you would go, oh, I didn't realise how much I was carrying in my body, of this day-to-day stress. So once you've got your body in a place where it's feeling a bit more relaxed, your primitive brain is calmed down, I'm safe, I'm okay, then we can start working on the mind, because we're going to be a lot more receptive now in that thinking brain, and we can actually start to challenge the way we view the world. We can shift our perspective, and it will change your life. So it all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you. So today I want to focus on two techniques. I want to focus on the gratitude practice, which is something that I promote with my journals, the daily gratitude journal. And I also want to promote the power of using a to-do list. I'm not promoting it from the perspective of productivity, but I'm promoting it from the perspective of actually just calming your body, calming your mind. So that's this book here, the Magical Mood Boosting Daily Planner, is where you can, if you like this practice and you don't have a to-do list, this is a really great one to use for that. So moving on to that one. So gratitude is just basically, it's a really strong feeling of appreciation. And it isn't just a feel-good new age practice. Newly released scientific studies prove the benefits of gratitude and how much it can actually contribute to our overall well-being, as well as just making us a good person. Because when you're feeling happy and grateful in yourself, and you're recognizing, wonderful things in other people, it's going to 100% enhance your relationships as well. It's going to make you feel more connected to others because you're feeling more connected to yourself. So from a scientific perspective, these are all the ways in which developing a gratitude practice will actually help your brain. So with neuroplasticity, the idea that whatever neurons within your brain fire together, wire together. So if you are training your brain to really appreciate the good things in your life, or the good things in your day, or the good things in others, that neural pathway within your brain is going to strengthen. So initially, if it's really flipping a switch and it's a new practice that might be quite difficult, over time, it's actually just going to become quite natural. And I can speak to this from personal experience. So I've been practicing gratitude for a number of years. And, before I was doing this, like I said, I did have quite bad anxiety, and I was always looking for, I don't know, the scary thing, or, not trusting other people, looking for the thing that was the tiger that was going to chase me. And now I am one of those people that are known for seeing the opportunities in a situation. So I acknowledge that the situation is what it is, but my brain naturally goes to, how do we get through this, get out of this, make this better, make this easier. Where's the lesson? So my brain automatically goes to that now. So having a gratitude practice does enhance dopamine and serotonin, which are the neurotransmitters responsible for happiness. So everyone wants more of those. They are amazing. And if you can get them naturally through your own practices, that is even better. Again, like talking about my own example, it reduces fear and anxiety by regulating the stress hormones, which it definitely has done for me. And it fosters cognitive restructuring by evoking positive thinking, which is what I was saying before, that neuroplasticity, that it actually changes the way your brain fires. So, and you can do this. Please trust me, you can do this. When you're in the thick of, not having a really great experience of life and sort of feeling like everything's against you and things are really hard. Again, not taking away from that experience, because those things are happening to you. But these practices can help you to have hope and just give you the motivation and the ability to keep going through those tough situations. So depending on where you're at, obviously there are things where you're going to need more assistance than just a gratitude practice. You're going to need some really good support and help, depending on where you are on the spectrum. But just, I suppose, in this instance, I'm talking about those day-to-day life's challenges, ups and downs. This practice is really, really effective to help you to change your experience of that. So when looking at how to actually include gratitude as a practice, so if you're new to this and you're wanting to make it something that becomes automatic for you in the way that you think, these are some ways that you can do that. So it does take a bit of time, and it's a practice that you need to do over time. But even if you do it for a little while and then don't do it for a while and then come back to it, it's still going to have those really positive benefits. So in terms of how to get it into your day-to-day life, these are some scientifically backed ways to help you get all of those brain-boosting benefits from a gratitude practice. So keeping a journal, writing it down. So that's what this is for, your daily gratitude journal. Lots of space here to record. Today I'm grateful for what moments of personal growth did I experience, who or what inspired me today. And then on the other side, you've got your daily reflections and what do I hope for tomorrow. So writing those things down. Several studies have shown that writing down the details of your positive experiences that you've had throughout the day, week or month can help condition your brain to be more appreciative of the things that you're grateful for. The other thing that I do and love is, and you can do it in your journal or you can put it up, is a vision board. So you can have vision boards of what you're wanting to achieve in the future, but you can also have vision boards of what you're so grateful for right now. So the people that you love, the experiences that you're having right now. So just a visual reminder of those things that bring you joy. The other thing, and as I said, gratitude is a really great practice for increasing the connection between people and enhancing your relationships. The reason is when you're identifying acts, not only in your life, but things that other people are doing that you appreciate. So not only identifying them, but sharing those moments of gratitude with your loved ones, that increases your connection with them. And it makes them happy as well. I mean, look, I love it. I love it if people, it's not that I go seeking it, but if someone says to me, oh, look, I really loved how you did this or that or whatever, or this made me feel, that makes me feel good. And, I know when I've shared that with others, like, thank you so much for doing that for me. I really appreciated that and how it made me feel. You could just see that, especially if someone's having a hard time, that makes the difference. So those sort of small acts of kindness, especially when they come from people that we're close to, family, friends, etc. Sometimes we don't notice them, like they become ingrained in what we do, they become overlooked. So it's really important for us to, really focus on that stuff. What is it that your partner does for you every day without asking that, makes your day better? What is it that your kids do that warms your heart? Your work colleagues, what are those things that we've taken for granted or just accept as the norm, but without them, our life wouldn't be as beautiful and colourful. And another really good thing is, if you're noticing these things in other people, is to actually write a letter of gratitude or a thank you note and give that to them, because it also, again, enhances your mental health, because you're focusing on all the good things that people are doing for you, but it also makes them feel really great as well. So that's how you can sort of bring in gratitude into actual practice. Now, these are some of the scientific benefits. It's all backed by scientific studies, and this isn't the whole list. So I just wanted to share this today because this is like the most simple thing that you can do. So, even if you're not, writing it down somewhere, even if you're just going through the practice, when you remember, it just has so many amazing benefits. It can really, really change your whole view of the world. So on this slide, we've got the benefits. I'll just read through a couple, but helps improve your sleep, helps to lower your blood pressure, motivates you to exercise more, extends your lifespan, boosts your self-confidence, improves your patience, improves your resiliency, strengthens your family support, strengthens your romantic relationships, helps you to manage grief, helps to improve the working environment. So just really, really amazing benefits from something that is so simple. So this is a sheet from my journal here. But again, you don't need the journal. You can do it however just grab a bit of paper. In fact, grab that bit of paper that I asked you to grab right now. So what we're going to do here on this page, which is up on the screen, through this very quick gratitude practice, is I want to help you to uncover the extraordinary in the ordinary. Because gratitude doesn't have to be for out of the norm events or occurrences. So it doesn't need to be for, even on a holiday. I mean, that is amazing, but you don't have to wait for a holiday to practice gratitude. Because it's the fact of the matter is, the more everyday things that you can feel appreciation for, the more amplified your experience of life will be, and the quicker you'll get all of those amazing benefits of this practice. So right now, if you're watching live or the replay with the pen and paper that I've asked you to collect, I want you to write down all of the everyday things that you're grateful for. So these were some of the things that I've put down. So I'm just going to read them out while you're doing yours. So I'm very creative. So I love playing around in Canva. That's where I developed my presentation and all of my materials for my business. I love the softness of the grass in the backyard on my feet. That just feels amazing. When I first moved to the house that we're in now, the grass was bliss. I brought all my friends and they came to visit. Grass. But it's just those simple things, it brought me so much joy. And I don't know what they thought, but I was sharing the joy. Watching the sunset over the beach in the evening, it's just magic to me. For me, I'm a very visual person, so those colors, those different shades that come out from the sun over the ocean through the sky, lights up all the different neurotransmitters in my brain. A clean house. Oh, I love a clean house. If you walk in and there's nothing to do and it's just, clean house, clean mind. A beautiful home cooked meal. So someone putting in, someone taking the time to prepare a meal for me. I just feel that's such a loving thing to do. One that I didn't cook. I'm not great with cooking. So when it's prepared for me and I just get to sit down and enjoy the fruits of their labor, that, I really appreciate that. Being out in nature, so the greener the better. I love the greens against the blues of the sky. Just really lights me up. And going for a bushwalk with the kids. So those are just some really simple things in my day-to-day life. And there's some more on the next slide that really light me up. So if you've got your pen and paper, just jot down, from the moment you wake up, what are the things that you're grateful for? Is it, having maybe a nice warm shower in the morning? Is it your first cup of coffee once everything, maybe the kids have gone off to school, or you've started your day and you get to just take a breath and have a nice warm cup of coffee? Is there a place that you go to in the morning, a coffee shop or something that's really inviting and warm and you really love going there? For me, if I'm going into the workplace, if I can go via the beach, I'll always go via the beach. And my thing is, and yes, I'm still being safe, but I love looking out for dolphins. So I'm always hunting for the dolphins on the way, and my day goes off, gets an extra, extra boost if I see one on my way to work. Well, I work from home 2 days a week. I'm really fortunate with my employer. So today's actually a day off for me, but I do have 2 working from home days a week, and I just love that. So I'm one of those extroverted introverts. So for me, I do love people, but I also really enjoy just having the ability to go inside into my mind and have a think through what I want to do and what I want to achieve, and just doing that sometimes in silence. I really appreciate that. So hopefully you're starting to generate a great list of those everyday things that you feel appreciation for. As I said, the more you're amplifying those in your experience of life, the better you'll feel about your life. You don't need to change anything. You just need to pick out those moments that already exist and really feel into them and really feel the joy that they bring you. So I've just shown you those. The next little activity that I'd like to guide you through is the power of a to-do list. So we all know the reasons from a productivity perspective why a to-do list is helpful, but I want us to focus today on how it's helpful from the perspective of wellness. How many times in a day do you feel overwhelmed by all the things that you have to do? Particularly as women, if we're working, we've got all our work tasks to do, but as soon as we get home, we've got our family and caring tasks to do as well. So we may be managing the diaries of up to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people at home. I know I do. Plus just the stuff that you've got to do as well. So, it gets to the point where it's just swimming around in your brain and you're just feeling completely stressed and overwhelmed. And you get to the point where you can't do anything. You just don't know where to start. So that internal to-do list is taking up so much space in your brain and energy, trying to just remember those things, that it just becomes overwhelming. So it's really important sometimes just to take the time to do a brain dump of all of those things on your mental to-do list, to get them out of your brain and onto a bit of paper. And what you'll actually find, what I find, is that it actually clears my brain and helps me to break down those complex projects into more manageable steps. So it's a really good thing to do, particularly if you find that you have trouble sleeping, to doing it at the end of a busy day before you go to bed, because then it stops you from replaying those things in your brain so that you don't forget. So there's lots of, again, scientific reasons why this is really great. It reduces stress and anxiety, as I mentioned, reduces that cognitive load. So when it's written down, that pressure to remember goes away because it's written down and you've captured it all. It provides clarity and motivation. So when I do my to-do list, basically I don't write it down in any order to start with. I literally just write everything down on a piece of paper. The intention is to just get it out of my brain. And then from there, I can actually prioritize those things that are important, like the things I want to get to first. So, I'm holding on to things that aren't a priority right now, but I don't want to forget them because, I've got to do them next week or the week after. When I've written it all down, those ones I'm like, don't need to worry about that. These are the things that I do need to worry about. So that's how I've actually designed the Magical Mood Boosting Daily Planner. So in that, you've got the space to capture all of your to-dos here. Once you've captured them all, then you just write down what is your top priority for today. And that's the 2 or 3 things that you'll be focusing on for that day. And then over here, you've got ideas or thoughts to capture. That's where I capture all the other things, so the things that maybe aren't to do right now, but might be to do in the next few weeks that I just want to capture down there. And I don't know about you, but there is nothing like ticking off like physically ticking off your to-do list or putting a line through your to-do list to really release those endorphins. I am quite goal-driven. So, you know, when I'm going through and I'm scrubbing it out and then I look back and I realize I've achieved everything that I set out to do, that feels really, really, really good for me. It's really motivating. So if you're, again, listening live here today, or if you are going to listen to the replay, I'd love you just to take some time to brainstorm right now everything that you have to do, no matter how big or small or when. Just write it down on a piece of paper and get it out of your brain. Get it all out of your brain. And then once you've done that, put an asterisk next to those important things or highlight them with a pen. Just do that. And if you're watching the replay and you get the opportunity to do this, please pop in the note or in the chat how you feel afterwards. I'd really love to hear it. And for some, you know, if you've kind of been a little bit avoidant of the things that you have to do, this can be a good thing as well, because obviously acknowledging the things that you have to do, you know, whether you're feeling it straight away, if it's in your unconscious, it's causing you stress. So bringing it to the forefront, realizing maybe, oh gosh, there's a lot more I have to do than what I thought, is a really good proactive step to managing your mindset and well-being. So those are just some tips around the mindset stuff. I've got heaps more. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, then I just want to show you the magical mindset for making your goals a reality. This workbook here has lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of activities like these that you can do in your own space and time to help you to shift your mindset. If you're looking at embodying some of those changes that you're making in your mindset, so obviously mindset, you can, you know, challenge your thinking within your head, but it's really about how you bring that into your practice. Then this particular journal, Unleash Your Potential, your Power-Packed Goal Activation Journal, is a really great resource for setting some goals to embed some of these new practices. So that's really fabulous as well. So those are just, obviously, I love to educate and share my tips and tricks and research-backed practices with people. But I also, if you're like me, I'm very much a self-directed learner. I'm very much, I'm very tactile, I suppose. I like to do things myself, not just listen, but then do some sort of activity to reinforce what I'm learning. So these journals, that's what they're designed to do, my journals. So they're actually then, you know, guiding you to do these practices in your own space and time and embedding them in your day-to-day life. So if you're just a beginner in this space, then definitely one of these two, which is the Daily Gratitude and the Magical Mood Boosting Daily Planner, are really good places to start. If you're ready to get down and dirty, then Magical Mindset and Unleash Your Potential are really great resources. So you can check them out on the website. We're not finished yet though, but obviously mindset is what those are all about. So I wanted to share that. We are now going to be focusing on the third pillar around magical mindset, which is your soul. So I am actually a massive advocate of alternative spiritual practices and modalities. So when I'm talking about soul, it's essentially our life force. It's our you know, who we are at our essence is what I'm referring to. So whatever that means for you, you know, that's the view that you'll take as I go through these exercises. So what one really great technique, I suppose, that I really want to share with you today is when you're looking at who you are, the essence of you, you know, are you really living in alignment with who you really are and what brings you joy? Because we're all completely different. What sparks up, you know, what sparks the light in me is not going to spark the light necessarily in you or other people. We are all so different. There are so many little nuances between us. And I think that's what makes us special, the fact that we are all so different. So sometimes, you know, particularly if you're going to see a life coach or a therapist, they might ask you to do what they call like a life check-in exercise or the wheel of life, where there'll be sort of 6 to 10 defined categories, and they'll ask you to sort of rate where you are at the moment in those categories. So there is definitely value in that, but I think to really find out what you need to focus on to enhance your life, you need to find out what's actually really important to you. So with this particular exercise, I'm going to ask you to create those 6 categories yourself. So what are those things in your life that have value and benefit for you? What really lights up your soul? So I'm going to ask you to, on your piece of paper, do the 6-spoke wheel like I've got on the screen there to start with. And then for each spoke, I want you to think about something in your life that when it's going well, absolutely brings you joy, makes you happy. So if you look at mine, I have, and don't mind the spelling mistakes, the things that I thought about that really, when I'm doing these things, I've at my best, like I'm living my best life. I'm feeling happy, content, just loving life. It's spending quality time and making beautiful memories with my family. It's eating nourishing meals and doing some exercise. It's spending quality time with my partner, having fun, sharing romance, and supporting each other's growth. It's working on and growing my soul-aligned business, which is what this is. It's financial freedom and creating passive income, so I don't feel like I have to work. And it's personal growth and evolution. So these are the 6 things that when I'm putting effort and energy and I'm in alignment with these things, my life is amazing. So that's what they are. So I want you to do that for yourself. Highlight those 6 things. And if you're watching the replay, pause it. Highlight those 6 things that bring you joy. And then I want you to evaluate where you are at the moment in terms of those 6 things. So it doesn't have to be exact or or scientific or a comprehensive measure. It's just a visual. So for me, you can see where I've put my markers and then joined it up. So I did this one a little while ago, but you can see that at the time I was quite low on the eating nourishing meals and doing some exercise compared to where I wanted to be. Spending quality time and making beautiful memories with my family, I was a bit low. Quite high at that time on working on growing my soul-aligned business. So for me, this was a really interesting exercise to do at that time. Again, not spending much quality time with my partner, because basically I was really driven on this, working on growing my soul-aligned business, because I thought by doing that, I would create this financial freedom, which would give me then more time to do these things, which is the spending quality time with my loved ones and eating nourishing meals and doing more exercise. But what I realized when I did this exercise is I was spending so much time doing these 2 things that I was missing out on these things, which were the whole reason for creating my business in the first place. So my family is still quite young. As I said, I've got the 4-year-old and I've got the teenagers, and they're not going to be, in my household forever. In fact, the teenagers will soon be off doing their own thing. So, by doing this now, although I still want to do it, I'm sacrificing these things. And so it really created it. Okay, I've got to change something. I've got to change something because these things make me happy and I'm not doing them right now. So basically what I did is, because I do work full time, is I actually requested and was supported to take 1 day a week off work. 1 day a fortnight off work. So I took a step back from that. I've got my 1 day a fortnight, which is the day that I plan to work on my business. So that on the weekends, which I was working on the weekends on my business, I'm now getting to spend more time doing these 3 things, which are really, really important to me. So it was taking a step back. So there was that financial, obviously, implication of taking 1 day off a fortnight to then take a step forward. So it allowed me to sort of see the bigger picture, I suppose, of where I was at and, where I may not have been living in alignment with those things that were really important to me. So if you've done this exercise, again, I'd really love to hear in the comments, what were some of your findings? What did you come away with having a look at that? Did the wheel end up looking the way you thought it would? And how do you feel about how it does look? Okay, so if you joined us for this live, thank you so much for joining me. As I said, it's my first time doing it like this. I will definitely try to do it more in the future. I really love speaking about these things. I really am passionate about helping people to discover that the tools that they need to enhance their experience of life are there within them, and that they just need to do these practices, embed these practices, particularly in good times and normal times, so that when those hard times hit, they've got this beautiful toolkit that they can draw on to help them through. So these are, as you can see on this slide, these are my journals that I've got published at the moment. You can see them on my website, which is www.thrivagy.com.au. For those that are watching the live or the replay, I would love to invite you to use a special discount code, which is Thrive20, for a 20% discount on any purchases that you make from my journal collection. As I said, they really are your take-home tools to embed these practices that I've been talking about today. So we've got some goal-setting journals there for both men and women, for the masculine and feminine. We've got the gratitude journals for the masculine and feminine. The magical mantras for enhancing your mindset. So another really great tool that I love is affirmations. So that's full of affirmations. I think I've got that one here. So what you do with this one is just basically in the morning, or anytime you need a bit of a boost, is just calm your mind, take a deep breath. And what is my magical mantra for today? And just intuitively open the page. And the one that I've got today is be courageous enough to be bad at something new, which isn't that hilarious? Because that's actually quite relevant today. Hopefully I wasn't bad at it, but basically that's the mindset that I had to get into this morning. Look, the technology might not work. No one might join me. No one might ever see this, but or I might, suck at it. But I've got to be courageous enough to be bad at something new. So I gave myself that grace that whatever today will be is what it will be, and it's a stepping stone. It's a foundation, and it'll only get better and improve from here. So that one is really, it's just so funny that one is actually great. I should have actually, I was thinking that way, and I should have opened this one this morning. Awesome. All right. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me.